Howdy, folks. I'm Amazing Americium, ambitiously amassing amorphous amber amphibians.
And I'm a shark. Ah,
Amber is a shark.
happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, and here is some Reddit. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for asking my new boyfriend to buy more Halloween candy because his niece took all of mine? On Saturday, I hosted an adults-only Halloween wine night. Most of my friends have children, and they look forward to having a night away. We put on a scary movie, paint or carve pumpkins, drink wine, and eat snacks. My new boyfriend of 2 months said that he was bringing his sister to join, which I was excited about because I've only met her in passing twice, but she's around my age and seems really nice. She has 2 children, so I specifically reminded my boyfriend that it was an adults only. Of course, she shows up with her daughter, who is 10. I love kids, but the night is specifically meant for and planned for adults. I don't have any children, so my house isn't even kid-friendly. Anyways, his niece saw my trick-or-treat setup and got excited to get some candy. I told her that she could pick up one, but told her that it was for the trick-or-treaters. Her mom was standing right there. And then we went right back to enjoy time with the adults. I even told my boyfriend that I was annoyed that she brought her daughter, but I didn't want her kid to know. It's not the kid's fault. One of my friends even made a comment that she paid for a sitter that night to have adult time. My boyfriend's sister and her daughter finally left around midnight, and I continued hanging out with my friends. While I was catching up, I realized that all the Halloween candy was gone. Not one piece left. For reference, it was 2 huge bowls from Costco bags, so over $100 worth of candy. I asked my friends if they noticed anything, and they said that the little girl kept walking up to it, but they thought that she was just trying to get the scarecrow to scare her. I asked my boyfriend, and he literally said if you didn't want her to have it, then you shouldn't have put it out. It wasn't out. It was sitting close to the back door so that on Halloween I can just move it outside before I get home from work. So once I get home, then I can bring it out and pass out the candy myself. I asked him if he would go to Costco and get more candy since his niece took over $100 worth of candy without her mom or him watching her or telling her not to do that. He said no, and again, that it was my fault that I put it out so that his niece didn't know. Well, we're 2 months into our relationship and I've never had any actual issues. Very happy, but this just seems selfish and rude. My friends just sided with me, so I'm asking for some unbiased opinions. Alright, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, imagine if someone went into your house and stole your antique necklace that you had on display, and your boyfriend was like, "Oh, well, if you didn't want it stolen, you shouldn't have had it out there." Like, I know candy isn't as valuable, but it's still your property. You still told the girl not to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the crux of this issue is that the parent wasn't watching the kid, and I think that if OP could, maybe they could get the phone number from their boyfriend and call up the mom and say, hey, your daughter stole $100 worth of candy. Can I have that back? Because I intended on passing it out for trick or treat.
Yeah, well, honestly, the boyfriend should be the one dealing with it because it's his sister. Like, if he doesn't want to pay for the candy, which he didn't steal it, okay, he needs to go talk to his sister and be like, hey, by the way, your daughter stole $100 worth of candy. We need the money.
Yeah, and another issue is that while it would be a great idea for him to go and buy some candy, I mean, it's Halloween Eve, right? That's the day before Halloween. What makes you think you're even going to be able to get bags of candy at this point in time? I'm sure most of it is just the kind of the drudges that are left, right? So I don't know that OP is even going to be able to find candy this late in the game, right?
Yeah, so this is really not a good situation. I mean, honestly, I would reconsider the whole relationship over this because he was dismissing you at every turn. You specifically had told him to inform his sister that no kids were allowed. And when she shows up with kids, instead of him politely talking to her and say, hey, by the way, sister, you're not supposed to bring your kid, he's just like, we're going to roll with it.
Yeah.
And then she steals stuff, and he's like, oh, it's your fault for having things in your house.
Yeah. I feel bad because OP now isn't going to have candy to pass out, and that's not on them. They were prepared, and they just had this issue. but let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Yogurt Closet OK 134 says she would have been sick if she ate that much. Tell him to go to his sister's house and pick it up. It's likely in a backpack or in her room somewhere. And the sister surely saw it by now and may have even been told that you let her take it. 100% not your fault. Even a bowl of candy out doesn't mean that as a guest that you're entitled to take it. By that meaning, is he implying that anything in your house is up for grabs? Also, look around your home. Is it possible her mom, his sister, or one of your guests stashed some somewhere so it wasn't in plain sight? As a parent, I get the temptation of a 10-year-old waiting for candy, especially if the candy isn't typically available for her, and at an adult event where she's likely quite bored. Edit add, I could see myself as your friend and guest seeing a whole big bowl and a kid eyeing it and stashing the candy out of sight to keep it safe and then forgetting to tell you. You did say wine night. Also, the fact that it was all gone and not even a piece or two was left makes me think it could have been gathered up and stashed. I mean, that's actually a good point. I mean, don't think that's unreasonable. Though, again, like, it's weird. If anything, I think what happened is the daughter, she kept stashing it into a backpack or something like that. She probably was taking like handfuls at a time, carting it back and forth. And Opie replies, I definitely thought this initially because I couldn't imagine taking that much candy from someone. The reason why I'm 99% sure she took it is because my boyfriend's reaction and response. He pretty much told me that she took it by saying that it was my fault for leaving it out. He could have lied and said that he didn't know, and I'd have no reason not to believe him. And Sedelia 191 says, not the jerk. How does a child eat $100 worth of candy in one evening without anyone noticing? I would assume the child not only ate more than one piece, but also someone took home the rest. A child doesn't walk away with that much candy without an adult noticing. So the sister, if not your boyfriend, knows and didn't discourage the behavior, if they didn't just take it themselves. Honestly, this is so odd, and if the adults don't remedy the situation quickly, I think $100 is well worth it to see such a clear red flag for an entire family. As not only is the boyfriend terrible, but the sister too. You can judge the character of a man by the character of his friends. You might date the greatest guy in the world, but if he has a terrible family or friends, then thinks that it's acceptable, and you're tied to them too at the end. I mean, I don't know that you can blame someone for having terrible family, right? Because, like...
Well, I think the point is that if they stick up for them being terrible, then they're really not that great. So
Yeah.
if the sister still, like, the sister's daughters took the candy and he was like, oh, yeah, I'll go talk to her right now, like, that would have been one thing and totally fine. But if he's willing to, like, be like, oh, no, this is all your fault, then he's not as good as he seems.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't saying that. I was just saying that you shouldn't necessarily blame someone for having bad family. But I do agree. I think we're on the same page. And OP replies, I'm guessing that she took it because she would have been throwing up all night if she ate it. I only found 2 wrappers, so I also didn't know where the wrappers went. She did have a book bag with her because she brought stuff to color, so my guess is that she stuffed it all in there. I'm actually on the fence, but leaning towards breaking up over this. It's rude and weird. I also feel kind of violated. Like, yes, it was only candy, but what in the world? Alright, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Leaving My Own Baby Shower? My husband is a 38-year-old male, and I'm a 36-year-old female, and we are finally expecting a child together after years of trying, and we're both super excited. Due to how long it's taken to get pregnant, I'm being careful over who I'm telling and how I'm celebrating, especially given the risks of miscarriage. I'm 7 months along. My husband is close to 2 of his female first cousins, N, a 40-year-old female, and A 45-year-old female, both of whom have kids. My husband and I both immigrated to our current country from different countries and met here as adults. In my culture, we don't have baby showers prior to birth due to the caution about not celebrating too much before giving birth to a live baby. While in my husband's culture, baby showers are common. Both N and A had baby showers, which is fine. I attended and gave them gifts. But now that I'm pregnant, they are asking me when my baby shower is going to be. I've told them repeatedly that I'm not going to have one. They refuse to acknowledge this and have continued to ask. My mother-in-law and my husband's aunt are also asking, but have been more polite when I've explained why I don't want one. The cousins are disappointed that we're not having a baby shower since they're close to my husband. This weekend, Anne invited me for a family dinner at her house, and it turned out to be a surprise baby shower for us. Decorations, games, gifts, the whole shebang. My family lives a few states away, so it was just my husband's family and friends in attendance. I flipped out. I had told them repeatedly that I don't want a baby shower because I'm being superstitious about finally having a healthy baby. I burst into tears and I told them that if they weren't going to listen to me, then they weren't going to meet the baby after birth. My mother-in-law had driven me there, so I ordered an Uber and went home without telling them. Apparently, they called my husband in a panic because I had just left, and my husband got upset at me for leaving when his family was just trying to do a nice thing for me. I said that doing a nice thing for me would have been respecting my wishes. When I complained to my mother, she was surprised and said that she hadn't heard anything about this until now. So apparently nobody on my side was even consulted. My husband and his family are upset for me not being grateful about the baby shower, and my husband said that I should just have sat through it. I say that I shouldn't have had to tolerate something that goes against my cultural practices even when it doesn't hurt someone. My husband and I can afford to buy stuff for our baby, so it's not about the gifts. And yes, I know how expensive things can get for babies. It's more that I don't want unnecessary and unwanted stuff cluttering our home. My husband wants to keep the gifts because his family went to the trouble of buying them, whereas I want to donate them. Am I the jerk for just leaving my baby shower when I didn't want one and not being more grateful? All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, I don't think you're the jerk. OP made her wishes very clear, and she has, these beliefs, and it was in contradiction with them. And so the husband's family were trying to impose their own traditions on her, and that's not cool. And they didn't even bother to consult her family or anyone important to her.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's really problematic as well. But the fact that they didn't consult the additional family shows that they were probably aware that this was going to not be well received, because if it's superstitious for OP's culture to have these, then their family would have been like, oh no, you don't want to do a baby shower. So it feels actually malicious at a certain point. Like they knew that she didn't want this baby shower, and then they took every step to make sure that they could throw her a baby shower.
Yeah, and they thought that if they could get her into the door, that she'd have no choice but to stay there. And I'm glad that she was able to get out of there because, these people, what they're doing is really gross and not okay and manipulative.
Yeah. I just feel bad because this is supposed to be a happy, joyous time for OP, but now it's kind of showing that OP's husband is going to expect OP to put the comfort and welfare of his family over OP's own comfort.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And it definitely is showing a problem with the husband's behavior because, and I was wondering too throughout this, because he's like, oh, well, you should have just accepted it. Like, was he maybe in the know and like gave them the go ahead, or was he in the dark? It's not clear from this.
Yeah, I hope that he wasn't in on it, but the fact that he didn't, outright tell them that they were wrong for this, and then even wanting to continue to accept the gifts after this, I don't know. I mean, I can understand because baby stuff is expensive, so he could be like, well, I mean, it's already purchased, so why donate it, right? But I can also understand OP's perspective here, where they don't want to make it seem like they condoned the baby shower. So, I don't know. I feel bad for OP because this just doesn't seem like a great situation for them.
Yeah.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And 002 says, not the jerk. You set a boundary, you made it clear that you did not want one, and you explained yourself, which you didn't have to do. Just because they are excited and wanted to celebrate doesn't mean that they had to do this. They could have easily waited until your baby was born to celebrate. That is, if you wanted to. Having a newborn around people is a lot on so many levels. Honestly, your husband needs to understand that you and your baby are now his immediate family and his immediate priority. If he cannot accept that and support you now, I'm sorry, but this means that it's only going to get worse. If your husband cannot support you, then you need to do what's best for you and your baby. And Llama Warlock says, people are way too comfortable with blasting through the boundaries of pregnant people. It's terrible. More reasons not to have kids, really. Alright, folks, and our last letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Lying to My Daughter and Not Letting Her Use Her Inheritance to Go to a Private High School? My husband and I have 4 kids, 21, 14, 12, 7. Our 21-year-old, Gabriella, is from my husband's first wife. My 14-year-old, Lucy, is extremely bright. We own a restaurant and she works for us on weekends for some spending money, and Lucy remembers everyone's exact orders without writing anything down. She's incredible with anything involving numbers and loves math and science. Last year, we walked in on her doing Gabriella's pre-nursing autonomy and chemistry homework. When we asked her why she was doing it, she said that she saw and thought it would be fun. She tutored Gabriella in a class that she wasn't even taking. Last year, one of our regulars was talking to Lucy while we were slow. He was telling her how he works for a private school a few blocks from his restaurant and how he thinks that Lucy should apply. He showed her a picture of the science labs and she fell in love with the school. That night, she was bugging us to apply. My husband and I already knew about the school and we've looked at it before. It's one of the best in the state, but it's nearly $60,000 a year. It's extremely competitive, approximately 10% acceptance rate. So we decided to let her apply because her chances were that she wouldn't be able to get in. We applied and she took the test and interview, took a private tour, and even shadowed for a day. We made sure that she knew the chances of getting in were slim to none. She was accepted with great financial aid package, $15,000 tuition, all fees covered. But we still can't afford to shell out $60,000 just for high school, so we told her that she wasn't accepted. She was devastated for a week and then started getting over it. We did manage to get her transferred to a better public school. I don't know how, but she recently found out that she actually did get into the school, and she's been furious ever since. She yelled at us too many times to count, cried for days, and now is upset that we wouldn't use the college fund that my parents set up, $45,000, to cover the cost. When I said that we can't touch it until college, she started saying that she could have used her inheritance from my husband's parents, approximately $400,000, to get in. I said no. It should be used for a better purpose, like buying a first house. There's also the issue that I can't give her younger siblings the same education if she goes there, and that'll cause problems for them. She hasn't spoken to us for over a week, so I wanted to know if we were the jerks. All right, folks, what do you think, jerk or not the jerk?
Yes, I think OP's being a major jerk here. Like, if you weren't planning on letting your daughter go, you should have told her that from the beginning and never let her apply.
Yeah, so I really want to address this last point where they're like, oh, if she goes to this school, then we're going to have to let all of her siblings go to this school. There's a 10% acceptance rate.
Yeah.
If you're really that worried, I mean, you can have them apply if they really want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, $60,000 also means that probably $60,000 for the other siblings, but the chances are, if this is a very competitive school to get into, then your other siblings aren't going to be able to get into it.
Well, I think OP might be insinuating that it wouldn't be fair if the one daughter goes and not the others, because she may know that this daughter is going to be the one who's going to get in, and the others wouldn't compare.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in life, not everything is going to be fair. Different children have different aptitudes, and it's important to support them all in what their strengths are to the best of your abilities, but it doesn't have to all be exactly the same.
Yeah, I think that my biggest concern here is that she's probably going to be bored, and she's not going to get the most out of her education. If she were to go to a better school, I'm not necessarily saying this particular school, but if she were able to have better opportunities to get higher and a more advanced education, then that's going to help her in life and potentially help her have a higher income as well.
Well, and it may also help her with college. Like if if this high school is really advanced, they may be able to help her get college credits early, or they may look really good on college applications.
Yeah.
And so it's not just about high school, it's about the rest of her future. And I think the whole, oh, well, we should save her inheritance for something more important. There's not, education is one of the most important things you can spend money on, I feel like.
Yeah, but to kind of go along this thread is if you really don't want to give her the money, then you can loan her the money and say, look, this is a loan you have to pay back eventually. And then you can solve the issue of the other siblings and everything like that, and just say, well, she didn't get this money, it's a loan for now, right? And then she can, whenever she gets her inheritance, she can choose what she wants to do with that money. And I mean, I certainly think that this is a problematic situation with the lying, with the deceit, with the getting her hopes up,
Yeah.
and then just dashing them. I really think that in this case, I know you were trying to do what you thought was best for her, but you and her have very different opinions about what's best for her and her future.
Yeah, and you can never bank on your child will not get into something. Like, even if the acceptance rate is slim, you have to always be prepared for the what if.
Yeah.
And if you knew it was going to be a no, then the appropriate thing would have been to not let her apply, period.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, you're talking about a girl who is doing college level work.
Yeah, just for fun.
Just for fun.
And then you're surprised she got in.
Yeah, I think that she may even be bored in this better school, right? I just honestly, like, the way she seems to be able to learn and teach herself information, it's not going to be one of these situations where she's like, this is challenging, but it's going to be the best chance she has at being challenged. And yeah, I think that, again, like, maybe the other public schools in the area also are going to be able to challenge her. I don't know. I don't know what education they have available in the area, but I do think that this needs to be a situation where OP and her husband need to figure out what is the best course of action to give her the best education that she deserves, right? And because this seems like something that she really enjoys. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Bulky District 2757 says, you're the jerk for lying. You should have told her that she got in, but financially you couldn't swing it. Also, you have no business telling her how she should spend her inheritance. $400,000 is plenty for her to attend high school and still have a down payment for a house. And OP replies, I'm allowed to tell her how to spend it until she's 21. I guess that comment got under their skin a little bit. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Shark has a joke.
Whoa. I have a shark. I've been saving this one for you all. So, what's a ghost's favorite magazine?
I can tell you exactly what a ghost's favorite magazine is. It's Shark's Weekly.
Good house creeping.
Good house creepings?
Yes, so I like that one. I've been saving it for Halloween.
Yeah. It's good. It was good.
You can see my eyes. You couldn't really see them very well before. But I'm a shark. Sorry.
And I have Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Halloween Eve, but Halloween for you.
Yes, happy Halloween to you. Happy Halloween Eve to us.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a spooky story.
There once was a man who let his sister's child steal all of his girlfriend's candy. And then his girlfriend broke up with him. Ah!
That's right, folks. That's scary. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.